Hey there, welcome back to another episode of Digital Nomad Ventures. In today's video, I'm going to be taking you on a short hiking tour up to a secret viewpoint here in the Lamai area of Koh Samui. Not many people know about this viewpoint, but I go on these hikes every Sunday morning with a group of expats here on the island. So I've gotten to know the mountains very well. It's every Sunday morning. So if you're interested in more information about that, please leave a comment down below and I'll provide you with the line group where you can join. Okay, so let's start this hike. Shouldn't take more than about 30 minutes to get to the viewpoint. It is very steep, and I actually hiked this trail recently with a friend of mine visiting from Phuket. I met her on one of the Sunday hikes, and she was just about to embark on an adventure to the Himalayas to hike to Everest Base Camp, which is absolutely epic. But I was kind of surprised because I was actually ahead of her most of the time during the hike. Maybe it was simply because she drank too much the night before. But yeah, it's really good training for if you want to do more strenuous hikes, like Everest Base Camp, for example. So yeah, really good exercise, and I love hiking in the mountains of Koh Samui. It's one of my favorite activities. It does get pretty steep up ahead, and it is easy also to get lost up in the mountains as well. So it's always a good idea to go with a group of people that know what they're doing. Also, you sometimes have to be careful of snakes. Occasionally you'll see snakes during the hikes, but they're usually not dangerous. We did see a big scorpion once as well, and a few of my friends were playing around with it, but I'm like, hell, I'm not going to get anywhere near that thing, because just think if you get poisoned up in the mountains, no one's around to help you. It's another nice thing about hiking with other people is that they have your back if something happens, right? So I usually prefer to go with a group rather than by myself. But this time, ooh, here's something crawling around over there. This time I'm just gonna hike to the top and then come back down before sunset. Oh, there's definitely a lot of dogs up here. This is another thing that you have to be careful with too, is stray dogs. But hopefully they're more bark than bite. Another reason that it's better to come with a large group of people. I don't think they're gonna hurt me, but you never know. Hey. It's okay. It's okay. See? They don't really mean any harm. They're just territorial. Usually they're just very territorial. As long as you don't encroach on their land, their property, then they really don't mean you any harm. Even if you're just one person hiking. So I just walked right past them. It's no big deal. Most of the soy dogs around the island are very friendly. Sometimes they may seem a little aggressive, but once you get to know them a little bit, like they're super friendly. You can see Lamai off there in the distance, and the ocean, obviously. And then this area right here is all banana trees, and whatever tree that is. But most of these are banana trees. So let's continue the hike. It's going to start getting quite steep up from here because we have to do a vertical climb up to the viewpoint, which is only about a mile from here. And then once you get up to the viewpoint, you can't actually see sunset from there because sunset is on the opposite side of the island. So you have to go over to like Baput or Mainam, Bangpur area in order to see the sunset. But we do get a nice sunrise here in Lamai. can drive a motorbike up here too, although I wouldn't recommend it because, as you can see, it's very steep. But as long as you have like a Honda Click, at least 125cc, you should be able to make it up these hills, although I would not recommend it. Much better to hike. Okay, I'm starting to get a little bit out of breath, but we've still got quite a climb ahead of us, and it's just really just a matter of mind over matter. A lot of success is simply putting one foot in front of the other, and I think hiking is a good metaphor for life. Not worrying about the obstacles that get in your way. Just keep going, right? Be persistent. Keep putting one foot in front of the other, and everything will be all right as long as you don't get bitten by a snake. Starting to get a little bit cloudy now, as you can see, but it doesn't look like we're probably going to have any rain, although it's usually difficult to tell one way or another since the island has its own weather system. But at least it's not too hot at the moment, which is good. I love it because it's just so quiet and peaceful up here. You just listen to the sound of the birds and the bugs, and it's almost no noise except for the occasional motorbike that passes by. Hello. It is a little bit difficult to continue talking while I'm doing this hike. I think tomorrow I'm not going to bring my phone with me. I'm just going to wake up early, right after sunrise, and do this hike without any interruptions. But I wanted to shoot this video just to show you guys what it's like hiking in the mountains of Koh Samui. And of course, always a good idea to bring a bottle of water with you when you come on these long hikes. This one's not too long, it's only about 30 minutes, but still, always a good idea to stay hydrated, during the hikes. And also bring some snacks as well, because you will get hungry, especially if it's a longer, like 4 to 5 hour hike. And as you can see, it's just jungle, mountains all the way around. Not another soul up here. One foot in front of the other. One foot in front of the other. Never give up. Should just be right on the other side of this rock formation. Right here. Yeah, here we are. Okay, so after about 20 minutes, we've now made it to the secret Lamai viewpoint. It's just straight up ahead. And this is it. So wait till you see the views from this viewpoint. It's pretty epic. Look at that. Woo! I don't know what their plans are for this viewpoint, if they're ever going to build something up here. Probably not. But we can also just walk down these steps. And I'll show you the view from down here. You can see my house from here as well, which is pretty cool. You can even walk down here. Hopefully I don't fall. Yeah, there we go. So we can come over here. You can see the views from this rock. Absolutely incredible. This is why I love to hike in Koh Samui. Woo! I made it to the top of the viewpoint in only about 20 minutes. And as you can see, the views from up here are absolutely breathtaking. That's Lamai behind me in the distance. And it's just before sunset, so I'm probably just gonna sit up here for a little while and meditate. Thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. I'm just now starting the climb down, and it is a little bit sketchy right here. So you always have to be mindful of your footing as well and pay attention, because there may be loose gravel that you can easily slip on, like I'm almost doing right now. And obviously it's a good idea to wear proper hiking boots if you have them. I just have my New Balance running shoes, which I always wear on all the hikes. And one of my friends always wears his sandals. So he doesn't even have proper hiking boots or shoes. He just wears sandals and never falls, has never had an accident. So, but obviously he's a very experienced hiker. He's been doing this for many years. It's getting quite dark. So I figured it's probably a good idea to start heading back down before it gets too dark and I can't see. And also the mosquitoes are out in full force right now. They're biting me all up and down my legs, which is not very pleasant. I can actually check my smartwatch, and I can see exactly how many calories I burned. So today I have about 12,000 steps, and I burned 300 kilocalories, which is actually the opposite of what I want to be doing. I want to be gaining muscle mass rather than cutting fat. I recently did a 3D body scan with my friend here in Koh Samui, and in the fit profile, so I've only got about 18% body fat, which is considered really, really good. I think like 14, maybe 12 to 16 is like an athlete level, but I'm still in that sweet spot where I can consider myself fit. So in order to gain muscle mass, I really just need to start lifting more heavy objects. I always like being out in nature and exploring the elements around me. So that's one of the reasons that I really love these hikes in Koh Samui. And if you'd like to come on the next one, don't hesitate to drop a comment. Oh, here comes a truck coming in hot. Whoa, almost fell. You always have to be careful too, because they do race around up here sometimes on their motorbikes. And that's another reason it's good to come with a group, because you know what they say, if you want to go far, go together. If you want to go fast, go alone. I prefer to go fast, but I also like to go far as well, which is where teamwork comes into play.